Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here this morning for our Sunday meditation. Whether you're here in the room or in the comfort of your home, we're glad you're here. So, this morning's meditation is on restoring our connection to nature. It's a mindfulness meditation, guided. So, at this time, I invite you to close your outer eyes. Take a nice, deep inward breath, as deep as you can. Hold it for a couple seconds and then release. It has been said that the average American spends about 90% of their time indoors and about 11 hours per day looking at some type of screen, whether TV, computer, Kindle, or cell phone. Richard Louv, in his book Last Child in the Woods, refers to a term he's coined nature deficit disorder. In a nutshell, it's the diminishment of our ability to interpret the natural world through our senses as a result of our overbusy, electronic, increasingly cyber lifestyles. In a later book titled The Nature Principle, Reconnecting with Life in a Virtual Age, he explores with urgency the necessity for our connection to the natural world, for ourselves, our families, our communities, and for the future of life on our planet. He says every day our relationship with nature, or the lack of it, influences our lives. This has always been true, but in the 21st century, our survival, or thrival, will require a transformative framework for that relationship, a reunion of humans with the rest of nature. The nature principle holds that a reconnection to the natural world is fundamental to human health, well-being, spirit, and survival. He explores research that describes the restorative power of nature, its impact on our senses and intelligence, on our physical, psychological, and spiritual health, and on the bonds of family, friendship, and the multi-space community. Reconnecting with this natural world helps create a feeling of being fully alive as we are immersed in all the aliveness surrounding us. One of the symptoms of this disorder is place blindness, the loss of ability to interpret land or have a relationship to land and take in cues from the natural world through our senses. The antidote to place blindness is to find a spot in nature that you can intentionally visit and revisit while practicing a mindfulness meditation involving your senses. It can be your own backyard, a park, near the ocean, whatever spot is conducive to you for this connection. So for today's meditation, being indoors, we'll use our imagination and our mind's eye to rehearse our mindfulness meditation as a means of remembering, rekindling the importance of our connection with nature. So let's take a moment to become fully present in our bodies, letting go of anything pressing that existed prior to this moment. Whether sitting or lying down, begin to take some deep breaths as you settle in. Breathing in deeply through the nose, hold for a second at the top, then exhaling fully through the mouth. Let's take 3 of these deep cleansing breaths. With a quick scan of our bodies, head to toe, notice any areas of tightness or holding on. Simply let it go. Relax into your body. Allow your breath to clear your mind. You will now choose your spot in nature for this meditation. Maybe it's a place you've been that brought peace just being there, or a meadow tucked away near the base of a mountain, or sitting in a shady spot near a creek or river, or maybe the solitude of the woods in winter. Wherever that place is for you, arrive there now. Finding a spot that feels safe and inviting, take a few moments to get comfortable. Fully arrive right where you are. Once situated, continue to take a few more deep breaths, feeling your body relax with each exhale. How good it is to be here. What an amazing gift to allow yourself this time to just be with nature, to behold and remember the beauty of our planet and not just its woes. Simply breathe in all of this splendor and breathe out anything you don't need in this moment. Be here now. With eyes closed, listen to the sounds closest to you in your chosen spot. Waves, maybe, or bird song. Maybe water meandering over rocks in the creek. Maybe there's wind. Can you hear it rustling the trees? Become aware of these sounds of life all around you, knowing that you are intricately connected to all life, all of this life, right here, right now. Breathing in deeply, allow this perfect present moment to fill your being with peace. Listen for the silence between sounds, just as full as the sounds themselves. Let's move to your sense of smell. As you breathe, what do you smell? The perfume of summer flowers, maybe? The damp earthiness, nearness of the land beneath you? Salt air? Pine? Become aware of and feel gratitude for this sense of smell. Further orienting you to your spot in nature, continue breathing deeply, taking in the scent of life in your chosen spot. Continue listening for the rustle of life all around you. What are you feeling? Is there a breeze? Is it causing God bumps? Is the sun shining? Are you in the coolness of shade or drinking in the sunshine? Spend a few moments in the awareness of physical sensations as you are being in this spot. Feel the support of earth below you. Can you feel enveloped by all this life around you? All part of this moment now, never to be repeated in exactly the same way as right now. You and everything around you are in relationship, sharing an experience of life. Allow yourself to just be here now. There is no time, no agenda. There are no problems, just you and your surroundings peacefully coexisting in an exquisite moment. You are alive. You've given yourself to the naturalness surrounding you, and nature is reciprocating in kind. You are one with all of it. The nature of you is the nature that surrounds you. Let's spend the next 10 minutes breathing and being one with nature in this chosen environment. with you. The invitation is for you to give this simple gift to yourself regularly, to put a time slot on your calendar to reconnect in a spot that nourishes you, that reminds you of your own nature, even if it's a few minutes in your own backyard. Most importantly, know that all the nature you are is intricately woven with all the nature that is. Let's carry the peace of that into our days ahead. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We hope that you'll stay tuned at 10:15 for our celebration service. Thank you.
Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living Sunday celebration service. Whether you have joined us here in the sanctuary at 4 Points or you have invited us into your homes through the power of live streaming, we're very happy, very glad that you have decided to join us today. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and the privilege of being this community's spiritual director. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that honors all paths and promotes global transformation through personal transformation. We are a spiritual community that can support you as you strive to experience a personal relationship with God. A spiritual community where you are respected and accepted for who you are. A space and place for inspiration, insight, and revelation, as well as loving support to grow into your highest and best self. You are welcome here no matter where you are on your spiritual path. We are part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living, which is a global community of over 450 spiritual communities, special focus groups, and teaching chapters in 30 countries worldwide. Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive philosophy, faith, and way of life that is dedicated to transforming lives by providing powerful spiritual principles and practices for our individual lives and for exploring new possibilities to assist the world to become a world that works for all. Now, some announcements, and the first of the Sunday of this month, we talked about the fact that it is Women's History Month. And we talked last time a little bit about the suffragettes. And so today, I would like to say from Hippocrates to Dr. Anthony Fauci, the face of medicine has been predominantly male. There are many reasons for this gender imbalance, from broad systemic discrimination in society to medical-specific discrimination. For many years, women were not allowed in medical schools. And in some cases, as in ancient Greece, a woman practicing medicine was considered a crime. But despite these oppressive odds, women throughout history have defied the pressures and have gone on to study and to work in various medical fields. Many of them have made groundbreaking discoveries and contributions to medicine, ranging from neonatal health to DNA structure. A common characteristic among all of these women, particularly those practicing before the mid-20th century, is that they stood up to families who did not wish for them to attend medical school and worked alongside men who did not believe they belonged in the medical arena. Those active earlier women sometimes had to resort to even more drastic measures than familial defiance, in some cases even disguising themselves as men in order to study and practice medicine. Now more than ever, women are shaping the course of health and health care for the world's population. Women comprise 1/3 of professionally active physicians in the United States and more than half of all new medical school graduates. More and more women are treating patients, staffing public health organizations, and engineering new ways to research and solve some of the greatest health issues of our time. These women are following in the footsteps of medical and scientific innovators such as Marie Curie, Florence Nightingale, Susan King Taylor, and Rosalind Franklin. These inspiring women endured poverty, deep-seated stereotypes, and discrimination, but they went on to build hospitals, win a Nobel Prize, lead a medical school, and dramatically improve the health of millions. They devised ways to protect newborns, expand our understanding of diseases like diabetes, and even mapped portions of the human brain. Along the way, these trailblazing women broke barriers for themselves, underserved patients, and the nation as a whole. It's important to note that this list that I'm going to give you in a minute is by no means exhaustive. It would be impossible to mention every single female innovator currently working to shape the health space for the better. In honor of Women's History Month, I share a few of the female pioneers who've changed the face of medicine. Elizabeth Blackwell, Rebecca Lee Crumper, Mary Putnam Jacoby, Virginia Apgar, Gertrude Teresa Corey, Anton Preston, Antonia Novello, and Jocelyn Edwards, elders, to name just a few. Our gratitude and appreciation go out to these women trailblazers. So this coming week also marks an important period of time for many people on the planet. It's Holy Week. And for me, this is a week that is filled with such an abundance of wisdom and insight and revelation, especially, for us when we look at it metaphysically. Now, it began yesterday, right? It began yesterday with a Saturday before Palm Sunday. Jesus had just raised Lazarus from the dead, which led into today, Palm Sunday, Jesus' triumphant return to Jerusalem. On Holy Monday, Jesus enters the temple and overturns the table of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves, and drove out all who were selling and buying there. On Holy Tuesday, Jesus goes to the Mount of Olives. And on the way there and during the return, Jesus spoke to his companions about the importance of faith. When they returned to Jerusalem, the religious leaders organized an ambush with the intent to place Jesus under arrest. However, he evaded their trap. On Holy Wednesday, Judas offers up his betrayal of Jesus to the high priests. There, the agreement is made, and Judas waits for the opportunity to turn Jesus over to the authorities. Maundy Thursday includes the Last Supper and the events in the Garden of Gethsemane, with Friday being the trial, the crucifixion, and the death and the burial of Jesus on Good Friday. And on Sunday, Easter Sunday, of course, the resurrection. Now, this is quite the week. Quite the week that Jesus had. This divine discomfort that we had talked about before, and many opportunities to step into that the way that we've never done it before. Opportunities for him to stand in his faith, and opportunities for us to really learn through the way that he lived his life. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what that looks like for us metaphysically on Palm Sunday, and next week we'll talk a little bit about how that looks for us on Easter Sunday. So, hold on to your hats, right? Because there's a lot coming. Okay. I'm excited about it. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I would like to thank Michelle Love for her beautiful meditation. Thank you so very much. That expands the container that our service will unfold within. And now I invite everyone to please stand up and sing our opening congregational song, which is You and Me by Eddie Watkins Jr.
Shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining, it's you and me. One love loving, it's you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living, it's you and me. One light shining, it's you and me. One love loving, it's you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just wanna shine. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me.
Beautiful, beautiful job.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. You know, we're gonna do some announcements, but I really would. My husband just said quickly. I would like to say though that I am really glad to be here with you this morning. I was on vacation all week, but I'm really just feeling a need to say that I feel quite blessed to be in the presence with you guys this morning. To be here at the Centers for Spiritual Living. It's a place where there's true love.
Yes.
I think about you all the time.
All right.
So, and I know you've got my back.
Yes, yes.
It is really just an honor
Oh, thank you.
to be here today with you all.
Thank
It
you.
really is.
Thank
So, okay, and now I will start the announcements.
Now you know what I live with.
It's all right.
Okay. Our Wednesday evening services throughout 2024 are called Beyond Sunday. Please join us at 7 on Zoom. The link is available on our Wednesday newsletter or on our website. For one more Wednesday, we will be talking about John O'Donohue's book, To Bless the Space Between Us. Beginning next month, we will be diving deeply into a psalm for the wild built, okay, by Becky Chambers. Our conversations throughout the month will be facilitated by Reverend Betty Harris.
All right. Excited.
Okay, and then we have Spirit Speak Boutique, owned and operated by our beloved member Eileen Proctor, is partnering with the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living to make available a line long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies in a variety of colors. The garments have our logo on the front and a powerful affirmation of your choice on the back. A portion of all the sales is being donated back to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. Each of the orders will be placed individually immediately upon receipt and shipped directly to you. Order forms are available at the information table located outside the sanctuary and on the bottom of the page of our website at trianglecsl.org. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Eileen at spiritspeakboutique@gmail.com or 919-526-0206.
Okay, announcement number 3. It is not too late to stay for our new members orientation, which is immediately following service. It is an opportunity for those of you that are new to our community to speak and to learn about the center, our underlying beliefs and teaching, and our spiritual principles and practices. Thinking about formal membership is not mandatory. Everyone is welcome.
Please save the date for our follow-up community town hall meeting, which will be held following service on Sunday, April 14th from 12 to 2. During the meeting, we will share updates from our special focus groups, talk about our finances, and discuss the Sunday experience and answer any questions you may have. Please put the date on your calendars and plan to attend. We would love your consciousness, your listening, and your voice in the room.
Okay. And number 5 is a please save the date for our annual meditation retreat held at St. Francis Prayer and Meditation Center. It's from 5 p.m. Friday, May 31st through 3 p.m. Sunday, June 2nd. It is an amazing opportunity to spend an extended amount of time in spiritual practice, to do it in a beautiful environment with the fellowship of our community. Registration for the retreat is now available for a $50 deposit to hold your space. The all-inclusive cost for this amazing weekend is $325, and it is for a double room, and $425 for a single room. Please consider joining us. You will be very happy that you did.
Absolutely.
And one last announcement, we're considering the possibility of a spring cleaning fundraiser sometime late spring. Before moving forward on the idea, we're curious about the interest within the community. There is a sign-up sheet on the front table if you were willing to look through your own homes for items which are no longer serving you and your family, items that no longer bring you joy but may be someone else's perfect find. The items need to be working and in good shape, and something, while no longer valuable to you, will be valuable to someone else. The proceeds will all go to the center. Even if you do not wish to bring items for the sale, we also need volunteers that would be willing to assist on the day in other ways. If that is you, please sign the sheet and indicate that you are interested in volunteering only. Thank you ahead of time for your support for our community. Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. That is the announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Hi. Thank you for being here this morning. So our theme for the year 2024 is a grand rising. Our theme for the month of March is That's How We've Never Done It. And Reverend Dusty's message today is New, Now, What's Next? I'm going to read this community's purpose statement. This is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives into being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And so it is. I now invite you to close your outer eyes as we just turn within, opening our hearts and minds, preparing ourselves for the service.
And it's amazing how the rooms have filled up since we've sat in the front corner. I'd like to welcome Larry, who you all know better well. Yes. And we will do that. Yes. Thank you. Okay, here we go. All right. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the truth and The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the truth that we are all created by God out of the same God stuff, and that there is a multiplicity of divine emanations, each individualized and unique in their own way, as represented by this ceremony. The first set is, whether this is your first time with us, or your 1,000th time, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Okay. Whether you are in the room physically or participating via technology or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just the way you are. Whether your soul is full of joy and possibilities, or your heart is heavy and your mind is consumed with troubles, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just the way you are. Whether you are brand new to the science of mind philosophy, or you have practiced it for a long time, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just the way you are. Whether your skin, eye, and hair color a rich dark shade, or you are the palest tint of color, or something in between. You are loved and accepted here, just the way you are. Whether you are a straight, cisgender man or woman, or you identify with the LGBTQ plus community, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether your politics tend toward the red side or toward the blue side, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just the way you are. Whether you were born and raised in this country, or came here from a different land, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether you are married or single, or somewhere in between, you are loved and accepted here, just the way you are. Whether you are in the first third of your life, the third third of your life, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just the way you are. Whether you feel your connection with God is the driving force in your life, or you aren't sure that you even believe in God, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Each and every color is beautiful and significant and unique. They all combine together into an amazing whole. Thank you all for contributing your special vibration in today's service and to life itself. Thank you.
So it is.
I would invite you to close your eyes and simply focus on the fact that we are here today together as one, both embodying God and being a recipient of God's love. I know that there's a wide variety of people, a wide variety of ways of coming together, and that we believe we are blessed by the fact that we are here with each other, recipients of the love of God. And so we simply let this be, knowing that each person here is contributing to the presence of God among us, that we are blessed, that each person here brings part of their soul to the service, and that we are simply with each other and blessed by God. We let this go, and we say together, and so it is. Okay. The reading for today was written by Reverend Scott Aubrey. And he says, let's act on the idea which has been percolating in our consciousness long enough. We can move from deliberation to action, taking the first step to energize an inspired possibility. Let's affirm the infinite presence, and let's simply say, I'm ready. I'm ready to see that what the universe has in mind. With complete acceptance, let's steep ourselves in gratitude for the actualization of a divine idea. And I'd like to introduce Karen Daly, who brings our first song this morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Rev Betty. That was really pretty. I think for me, sometimes figuring out what's next is just leaning into the unknown. We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. where the bonny boat was won, and we sailed into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry, smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. When that foghorn blows, you know I'm coming home. And when that foghorn blows, I want to hear it, but I don't have to fear it. And I want to rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And magnificently we will float into the mystic. When that foghorn blows, you know I'm coming home. And when that foghorn blows, I gotta hear it, but I don't have to fear it. And I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And together we will float into the mystic. And together we will float into the mystic. Thank you. Thank you.
Of applause. Absolutely angelic voice that we are so blessed to have in our community. Thank you again so very much for that. So welcome to those of you who may have just arrived in the sanctuary, or perhaps have just turned on your television sets or your computer screens. Thank you for joining us. Today is the fourth Sunday in a month whose theme is "That's How We've Never Done It." Now, the foundational idea of the month is that if we are going to step into our grand rising, we have to be willing to embrace a new way of experiencing and expressing ourselves in the world. We've talked about seizing the day, becoming aware of the unlimited possibilities that are always available for us, about the importance of acknowledging our past while also simultaneously disentangling ourselves from it, about releasing our need to figure it out ahead of time, and about inviting our inner wisdom, our inner guidance to lead us into new ways of being in the world. Today is Palm Sunday, and I believe that all of the events of that day represent all of that. That they represent everything that we have been talking about, and some things that we're going to talk about today. I believe that it represents our willingness to step into our transformation, into our grand rising. The events of Palm Sunday really speak to listening to our still small voice, the one that is always seeking to be expressed through and as us, the one that speaks to that of all that we need to be and all that we need to do in order to evolve into our highest and best selves. The events of the day speak to knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt, standing firmly grounded in our faith, and being willing to turn away from the world of form and do what it is that we know that we came here to do. The events of the day invite us to step out in faith And not faith in something outside of ourselves, but faith in the presence of God that is within us and surrounding us. Faith in the creative power of the law, and faith in a universe that is always for us and never against us. The events speak to us about moving through our fears and letting go of any resistance that we may have for our own transformation. Ooh, too scary. Too whatever. I don't want to go there. Let's go. As Jesus rode that colt of the donkey into Jerusalem on that day, he knew what we are being asked to embrace. And that is that we are bigger than we have ever thought we were. And now that we know that, what are we going to do about it? How do we carry that awareness forward into a larger expression of God in our own lives, in the lives of our spiritual communities, in the lives of our larger communities, and in the life of the planet itself? It is said that Jesus rode on the colt of that donkey so that the scriptures or the prophecies would be fulfilled. Now, this very humble way of entering into Jerusalem was certainly not the really glorious, triumphant way that the crowd thought that the king should come into the town, but it was the way that he believed he was supposed to do it. It was the way that he surrendered to doing it. He stood firmly grounded in his faith, and he allowed the will of God to come about in the way that divine wisdom felt that it should come about for the highest and best of everyone concerned. Jesus knew that failing to fulfill the prophecies would indicate that he was too attached to his own ideas, or that he was being too swayed by the expectations of the crowd. He instead chose to listen to his intuition, to that still small voice of God within. He listened for it, he listened to it, he surrendered to it, and the truth is that this surrender was an act of the deepest faith that any one of us could ever imagine. Here at the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, we believe that Jesus was a master teacher, speaking to us not only in parables and in stories, but also speaking to us in the way that he lived his life from day to day, from activity to activity, right? Through the events of Palm Sunday, Jesus shows us the truth of who we have to be and what we have to do in order to really transform our lives. Now, the first question for us today, the first underlying question is, who are we and what are we going to do about it? Now, the invitation behind the question is to consciously ground ourselves in the truth of who we are and in the vision of who we are becoming, not only individually but also collectively. The invitation is to let that vision and that truth inform our every thought, our every word, our every belief, and our every action. And as we practice and live this teaching, we find that the more fully we will embody the truth of our wholeness, the truth of our oneness. And when we do that, the more we will actually experience our deep and abiding connection with our good. That good that technically we arrived on the planet with, but we have forgotten, strayed away from, believed we were separate from. Now, the more we consciously accept our divine humanness and gratefully stand in our power, then we begin to ask ourselves, how are we called to best use this power? It is there and we're able to use it, but what is the best way for me individually in my own unique way to use that power? How can I most effectively shine my light? how do we be the change that we wish to see in the world? Ernest Holmes says, when your belief in God is greater than your belief in the condition, a healing occurs. If we want a healing, we have to understand that our belief in life, our belief in spirit, our belief in ourselves, our belief in goodness is greater than the conditions we see around us. Nothing greater than the power and presence of the divine. In order to change the world, we have to begin here. We have to begin with the truth of who we all are, with absolutely no exceptions. We have to embrace the truth that something greater than ourselves exists and that we were created by it. That each of us is a unique and individualized expression of God, created in its image and likeness. And that we are ambassadors of its presence. That's a mighty shoes to fill. That's a mighty mantle to take up, yes? We are God's ambassadors. As we deepen in this teaching, we notice that the whole of God, the love of God, the givingness of God is not only readily available to us, it is who we are. It is who and what we are at our very core. It is who we came here to be. A truth that big cannot just exist inside of us. We have to express it outwardly into the world. We are its ambassadors. What Emerson termed divine discontent pushes us into inner commitment and outer action. Just as it was for Jesus, this is the activity and the action that is demanded of us if we want to change the world. Now, the second underlying question is, how do we move from survive to thrive? The survival of humankind as a species has been served over the years by our strong sense of individual survival. And that individual survival came with a lot of patterns of thinkings that were kind of governed by judgment or by fear or by a belief in separation. Today, at this stage of conscious evolution, right, the place we want to be, conscious evolution, we've learned from our past and the stories that we've told ourselves about ourselves and about each other that those stories are not to be confused with our true identity. They're just stories we made up. We can choose to be governed by something much bigger than our limited human perception. If we are to not just survive, but to thrive, we must release fear and we must embrace love for ourselves and for each other. Yes. If we are not to just survive, but thrive, we are encouraged to listen reverently for our own inner wisdom, for the voice of the divine that is within us. We're encouraged to keep an open mind, a beginner's mind, and be available for new, outside of the box thinking to reveal itself to us in new and innovative ways of really moving forward. Of moving forward in our lives, of not just surviving, but of actually thriving. You know, what we've been doing hasn't always been working for us or for each other. So that we're encouraged, the invitation is really to be open to new, to something new, so that we can not just survive, but that we can actually thrive. The rapidly changing landscape of our world can serve to remind us that many patterns of thought and many of the beliefs that we've had in the past are not serving us any longer. They're just simply not working, right? New situations demand new thoughts and new understandings and new beliefs and new creativity and a new vision. Spirit invites us to open our minds and our hearts, expanding our willingness to evolve and to embrace each new step along the way. We don't have to know where we're going in that moment, but just to be able to see and to say yes to that next new step. The invitation is for each of us to lean into the question, what is mine to do? And then to commit to acting upon the answer. And the divine identity within us inspires us to be our own unique expression. But it doesn't just leave us hanging out there to dry. All we have to do is ask, what is mine to do? And then get quiet enough to listen for that answer. And then to move forward on that answer. And it might come in a little faint little glimmer, a little small voice. Or it might come in a big, huge explosion of fireworks. It doesn't matter. It will come in the way that you're able to hear it. And Will Rogers famously said, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. So do something. It's time to take a leap into our new now. What's next? To open ourselves up to it. Now, this last week, Heather and I spent some time at the beach at Kitty Hawk. And at the Orville and Wilbur Wright Museum, I found this amazing book. It just really like jumped up into my arms. And I just said yes. I just bought the book, and didn't even open it in the moment, just bought the book, knowing that I was supposed to have it. And look it's ended up in the message today. Clearly, it was mine. The book is called What Do You Do with an Idea?
Well, what do you do?
How timely. It's written by Kobe Yamada, and it's illustrated by Mae Bessem. It's a New York Times bestseller. I'm going to share it with you today. It's a little boy. It's cute. He says, one day, I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why was it here? I wondered, what do you do with an idea? At first, I didn't think much of it. Sound familiar? It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me. But it followed me. I worried what other people would think. What would they say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away and didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before my idea showed up. But there was something magical about my idea. I had to admit, I felt better and happier when it was around. It wanted food. It wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. It grew bigger, and we became friends. I showed it to other people even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid that they would think it was silly. And many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time and that it never would become anything. And at first, I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do, and it's okay if it's different and weird and maybe even a little bit crazy. I decided to protect it, to care for it. I fed it all good food. I worked with it. I played with it. But most of all, I gave it my attention. My idea grew and grew, and so did my love for it. I built a new house, one with an open roof where it could look up at the stars, a place where it was safe to dream. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive, like I could do anything. It encouraged me to think big and then to think even bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands because it said it's good to have the ability to see things differently. I couldn't imagine my life without it. Then one day, something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my very eyes. It spread its wings, took flight, and it burst into the sky. I don't know how to describe it, but it went from being here to being everywhere. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. Now, it was part of everything. And then I realized what you do with an idea. You change the world. You change the world. And so today, really on Palm Sunday, the invitation is to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that each of us is here on the planet right now. Right now for a reason, a mighty purpose. We're not here to play it small. We're not here to be less than we were created to be. We're not here to stay stuck in old ways of being that no longer work for us. We're not here to merely survive. We're here to thrive, individually and collectively. We are here to bring something new to the world that forever changes it. Now, this doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering, but it can be something as simple as accepting the insistence of a divine idea from within. The insistence, right? It followed me home. The insistence of a divine idea. Surrendering to the impulse of it and being willing to nurture it by lovingly giving it the attention it deserves. The attention it deserves. This is an idea from God. It deserves our attention. So today on Palm Sunday, I ask each of us to ask ourselves, am I willing and available for a new idea to come forward within me? Am I willing to stay in each and every perfect now moment and remember who I am? Am I willing to humbly do that which is mine to do and move forward into what's next with power and with faith? Something new, standing in the now moment and move forward into what's next with power and faith. If you are willing, please repeat after me. Yes, I am willing. Yes, I am willing.
Yes, I am willing.
And so it is. Let's pray.
Amen.
So I invite everyone to turn within, to allow ourselves to turn away from the world of form, to all those away from all those ideas of judgment and fear and separation, those things that are part of the human experience, and to allow ourselves to turn our attention to the center of our being, to the core, to that spark of the divine, to that light that is at our center, that is always there, that never goes out. That's that aspect of the divine that is within each of us. The love, the peace, the joy, the creativity, the wisdom, the abundance, the grace. All things good. We can never be separate from it. We were created by it, in its image and likeness. Wherever we are, God is. In its fullness and in its wholeness. Nothing missing, nothing wrong, nothing that needs to be fixed. God is right there. And it's from that place of connection, deep and abiding connection, that I speak these words about and for each of us today, truly knowing that we can step into a way of living our lives that allows us not only to just survive, but to literally thrive. That allows us to be the presence of the divine we came here to be. And it involves this simply listening. Listening for that which is within us, opening ourselves up to hear that which is ours to do, to be. Having a beginner's mind, letting go of old beliefs and patterns that no longer serve us, that no longer serve our communities, that no longer serve our world, and being willing to step into what's next with faith, with power, knowing that God has our back. That divine idea comes with everything it needs to burst into beingness. That we are supported in our expression of it, guided and guarded along the way. That we can be in support of each other. We don't have to do it alone, but we can support each other through our communities, through our spiritual communities, being with like-minded people, having conversations that deepen us, that expand us, that really open us up to a greater and greater acceptance of everything and everyone. I'm so grateful to know this truth, so grateful to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes. That my words are clothed in form even as they are spoken, and so I speak them and I release them with love and gratitude and full expectation of their manifestation. Letting go and letting God be God, I invite each of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all so very much. So it is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living really survives and thrives by the conscious tithing of our time, talent, and, yes, finances. So today, this moment is that time to offer this community financial assistance so that we can continue to be a beacon of light and warmth in our lives and in the lives of those in the greater community. And what I know is that this offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. There are a number of ways that you can give. They're here on our screen or on your screen at home. Visit our website, trianglecsl.org. You can text the word GIVE to 919-629-9148, or you can write to PO Box 4062 and send a check, if you can remember how to do that. Now, I would love for you to take your gift or take your hand and place it over your heart and have an affirmation for yourself or for the community, and we'll do our offering affirmation in a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. And so it is. And now the baskets are being passed. Please welcome the amazing Karen Daly.
Thanks, guys. Let's get ready to receive. Woo! That was good. I want that book for my godson. That was gorgeous. Hear the word roaring as thunder, with a new future to tell. For the dry season is over, and there's a cloud beginning to swell. Look to the skies heavy with blessing. Lift your eyes and offer your heart. You alone can open the heavens and receive the Spirit of God. We receive your rain. We receive your rain. We receive your rain. And every seed buried in sorrow, you will call forth in its time. You are Lord, Lord of the harvest, calling hope now to arise. And we receive your rain. We receive your rain. It's like a flood. It's like a flood. We receive your love when you come like a flood. It's like a flood. We receive your love when you come. And with great anticipation, we await the promise to come. Every word that you have spoken will come to pass. Let it be done. We receive your rain. We receive your rain. We receive your rain. Thank you.
Anyone would like a prayer, go to our website when you get home, and on the home page there's a button in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that button and fill in the request form. We will get that prayer out and to the ministers and to the practitioners, and we will hold you in our thoughts this week. If anyone would like to make a flower dedication for anything or anyone, please contact Heather Abbott or Reverend Dusty, and we will get that going and have it blooming every week with us. So, and I invite you to, in the comfort of your own home or here, to please stand for our March affirmation. This is a call and response, so let's just do. As I step into my grand rising, I declare that I am willing to embrace a new way of experiencing and expressing myself.
As I step into my grand rising, I declare that I am willing to embrace a new way of experiencing and expressing myself.
In order to do this, I honor my past, learn from it, and move freely into my future without attachment or reservation.
In order to do this, I honor my past, learn from it, and move freely into my future without attachment or reservation.
I invite my inner guidance to guide me as I release my need to figure it out.
I invite my inner guidance to guide me as I release my need to figure it out.
As I do so, I know that I am supported by a universe that is always for me.
As I do so, I know that I am supported by a universe that is always for me.
Grounded in the truth of who I am and my vision of who I am becoming, I step forward into ever greater good.
Grounded in the truth of who I am and my vision of who I am becoming, I step forward into ever greater good.
I recognize that I am awakening to a new way of being and to the realization that I am bigger than I thought I was.
I recognize that I am awakening to a new way of being and to the realization that I am bigger than I thought I was.
From that understanding, I set the intention to stay conscious, live from love, and to embrace infinite possibility.
From that understanding, I set the intention to stay conscious,
Live from love, and to embrace
infinite possibility.
I declare that I will not go back to sleep.
I declare that I will not go back to sleep.
And so it is.
And so it is.
If you would like to sit or for just a moment, I simply want to recognize the presence of everyone here and the presence of God among us. It has simply been a wonderful morning, and I speak this word for each one of us, and I let it go knowing that we are blessed and that we are here on purpose for our souls and for the souls of those among us. And then so I let it go. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you all so very much for being here or inviting us into your homes today. Have a really great week, and come back and join us next Sunday. We'll talk a little bit about Easter Sunday. And until then, I love you.
We love you.
Bye.